Good evening, this is CTV News for December 3rd. I'm Mariah Jalad. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news tonight, the suspect wanted for the fatal shooting of community activist Cornelius McDonald is in custody. 35-year-old Terrell Bailey of the district is charged with first and second-degree murder related to the shooting that took place early November 30th. Prince George's police say Bailey and McDonald were both customers at Jasper's restaurant and got into an argument before the shooting. McDonald and Bailey did not know each other before the incident. Bailey is now in the custody of the Department of Corrections. Prince George's County Council elected new leadership today for the 2025 legislative session, but as Byron Scott reports, what should have been a display of unity became a fractured gathering of local leaders.
Good morning. This is the County Council of Prince George's County. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd.
The exchange of the gavel at Prince George's County Council usually goes quickly and without drama.
Ms. Fisher?
Abstain.
But not here.
So I would say this. I don't believe today there are many people here that can get more than that can get fully 6 votes.
Not today.
No one should be chair by default.
And usually it's out with the old and in with the new. But after 3 failed rounds to elect a council chair, first Eric Olson, then Jolene Ivy, then Walla Blagay, Ivy remained chair by default.
It was expected. We're a very divided council right now, and because we have 10 members instead of 11, it makes it a lot harder to get to 6. So this was expected. I'm not surprised.
The vote for vice chair was also a bit bumpy. It took 2 rounds. Crystal Oriata failed to get enough votes, but on round 2, Edward Burrows emerged the victor.
I think we're going to work like hell to bring consensus to the body, and I think it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We'll see.
There's tension. Yeah, there's a difference of opinion of how the council should move.
Indeed, the tension was thick. Following the vote, one faction of council members gathered in one corner, another assembled across the divide. On top of that, the divided council will be facing some looming issues.
Right now, my priority is to be able to serve the people who live here, like our seniors, like our kids, but to still be able to get through it without raising taxes. And I know that with some of the priorities of some of my colleagues, there's no way to get around having some kind of a tax increase. And I don't want that to happen.
We've never seen ourselves in a situation where we don't have an elected county executive. We don't have an elected chair of the council. We have someone who's on the council before they're sworn into their at-large seat running for county executive. I don't know. We're in an unprecedented time.
Starts with the leadership. So we pray that love, unity, and peace in the communities will be the driving forces.
And while the session began with a prayer for unity, it ended with new leadership trying to figure out how to make that happen.
I think we all want the same basic good things for our county, but we have different ways of going about them.
As for today's bumpy ride, council members will have some time to calm their nerves. They're back in session on January 7th. In Largo, Byron Scott, CTV News.
Thank you, Byron. And meantime, the race to become the next county executive for Prince George's is underway. Several county leaders have thrown their hats into the ring, including State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy and council members Jolene Ivy and Calvin Hawkins. Voters will decide who will be the county's next top leader through a special election in 2025. This upcoming special election could also come with a hefty price tag. CTV's Katara Jones has more on the story.
This is a really critical time in our county, and we can't take the risk.
County Council member and chair Jolene Ivy is looking to be the next county executive of Prince George's County, but so is her colleague on the county council, Calvin Hawkins.
So I'm poised to use my 30 years experience to work with the senior issues as well as deal with the crime that we're dealing with from a public safety standpoint.
The 2 lawmakers will also face a challenge challenge from State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy. Whoever becomes county executive will have to handle the looming issue of whether or not the FBI headquarters will actually relocate to Greenbelt.
I'm worried not just about whether or not we end up getting the FBI. I'm worried about the 70,000 federal employees we have in Prince George's County. And we have an administration who's coming in with the goal of cutting government workers. They're a huge part of our economy.
Here's what Hawkins had to say about the same issue.
I think working with our federal partners is the key. At the local level, we only can do so much. But working with our federal partners and state partners, that's where the real influence comes, and that's where the impact will be.
The election could also be potentially costly. According to reports, the last special election to fill the vacant seat left by Mel Franklin cost the county about $1.3 million, with 3 well-known county leaders going head-to-head for the county's top job will make the 2025 special election interesting to watch. Katara Jones, CTV News.
The county fire and EMS department responded to a townhouse fire in Bowie this morning. The 2-story middle-of-row home is located at the 2600 block of Nemo Court. Firefighters were able to put the fire out shortly after 6:30 a.m. No one was found inside and no injuries have been reported at this time. And a Montgomery County woman is dead following a house fire early this morning. Firefighters were called to a home in an area between Route 27 and Whites Ferry Road just after midnight. Officials with Montgomery's Fire and Rescue Service say when crews arrived, the home was engulfed in flames and heavy smoke. Once the fire was put out, a woman's body was found on the second floor. A dog was ultimately rescued from the home. The cause of the fire still remains under investigation. And another candidate has thrown his hat into the ring to become the next chair of the Democratic National Party. Robert Kennedy Houghton announced his bid on Sunday. The Bethesda resident ran unsuccessfully for the Democratic nomination for a U.S. Senate seat this year. Last month, former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley announced that he's running to head the committee. In his letter to DNC members, Houghton introduced himself as a public health advocate who boldly led in fighting the fentanyl crisis. In all, 5 people have announced their candidacy. The DNC is scheduled to pick a new chair on February 1st at its annual winter meeting at National Harbor. And Maryland Representative Jamie Raskin says he will challenge the current leadership to become the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee next year. In a letter, Raskin said that under his leadership, the committee would become the headquarters of congressional opposition to authoritarianism to fight a second Donald Trump administration. Raskin's announcement directly challenges his fellow Democrat, Representative Jerry Nadler of New York, who has led the committee since 2019 and has seniority in Congress over Raskin. As the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Raskin is not new to resisting Trump and helped draft articles of impeachment against him in his last term as president. And for the first time in U.S. history, 2 black women will serve together in the Senate when former County Executive Angela Alsobrooks is sworn in next month, along with Lisa Blunt Rochester from Delaware. In fact, this incoming Congress will have a record number of black lawmakers, a total of 67 across Congress. This congressional class will also have the largest number of Democrats in the Congressional Black Caucus, 62. Other black congressional leadership include Representative Hakeem Jeffries of New York, who was re-elected as House Minority Leader. Angela Alsobrooks is the first black woman to be elected senator from Maryland. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Mariah Jalad. Still to come.
Coming up, I'll tell you how one veteran is giving back and helping eliminate food insecurity for veterans.
When a parent sees their child smile, they see hope. Aleem hoped that his son Rajib would have an easier life than he had. You see, Rajib, just like his father, was born with a cleft. But as a fisherman in a small village in Indonesia, the cost of surgery was out of reach. Their lives were transformed thanks to Smile Train, which sponsors free, life-changing cleft surgeries and other essential treatments. Rajib's surgery marked Smile Train's 2 millionth, and incredibly, Aleem's was the 2 million and first. Now, their smiles are a symbol of hope for children with clefts all over the world. 540 babies are born with a cleft each day, but through Smile Train, millions of lives have been changed. To learn more and support the global cleft community, visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Prince George's police are investigating a fatal crash in Silver Spring this morning. The collision took place in the area of New Hampshire Avenue and Piney Branch Road. Officers arrived on the scene shortly after 3 a.m. and found the driver of a sedan, an adult male, still in the vehicle. Investigation shows he was driving eastbound on Piney when he lost control and left the roadway. The driver was taken to an area hospital where he later died. Police are working to determine the reasons why he lost control. And a string of broken-up car rallies across the state this weekend led to multiple arrests, including the arrest of 4 juveniles. Saturday, a Laurel man, 18-year-old Josue Corden, was arrested and investigated for a replica handgun found on his person during a Baltimore car rally. And at the same rally, the 4 previously mentioned juveniles, all between the ages of 15 and 17, were located in a stolen Camaro SS with 2 firearms recovered in the vehicle. The investigation by the Maryland Car Rally Task Force is still ongoing. And the Maryland General Assembly will meet next month to discuss the growing deficit in the state transportation budget and hope to stop the bleeding in an issue that State Delegate Courtney Watson says is only getting worse. With a Republican-led Congress looming, many state Democrats are preparing for a potential drop in federal aid that could make the state's budget issue worse. Last year's session saw a $3.1 billion deficit in the department's budget. Declining revenue from gas taxes could cause the General Assembly to adopt fee and tax increases in other areas to make up for this year's deficit. Well, after 12 years in the U.S. Army, Peter Scott returned home to battle PTSD, but found healing through gardening. This led him to create the 7-acre Fields for Valor Farms nonprofit. CTV's Michaela Newton tells us about its mission.
I was in the Army from 1999 to 2010 during, sort of prime time, global war on terrorism. Spent a lot of time deployed, and when I got out, I was soul searching. I had some challenges, had some PTSD that came to a head, and just generally found myself soul searching for purpose, and then just sort of found my purpose in growing and providing food to other veterans and their families in need.
Peter launched Fields for Valor back in 2016 to help eliminate food insecurity for veterans. Now the farm is continuing to do just that by supplying produce, eggs, and raw honey. Like many veterans, Peter struggled to adjust to civilian life.
A lot of veterans, what we found is that just somebody growing food and delivering it to them shows that they care and respect their service. And, you can't put a price tag on that.
Today, Fields for Valor Farms isn't just a place to grow food. It's a community that cultivates healing and hope for those who've served. Volunteers at the farm do a number of things, including delivering food from the farm to families in need. And they give it away for free.
Even me, as a veteran, I kind of run into folks that's like, okay, well, you got it. He'll be okay. He's a veteran. The VA has him. They're taking care of everything. But at the end of the day, food insecurity, can affect people in some very serious ways.
That was actually one of the things that drew me to wanting to come and support this farm, was because we have multiple family members who have served in the military, and I think that that's a really strong mission and one that's very important to our country.
From its roots and healing to its ongoing mission to fight food insecurity, Fields for Valor continues to make an impact, one vegetable at a time.
Thank you, Michaela, for that report. Fields for Valor is always looking for volunteers. If you're interested, you can visit fieldsforvalor.org. And still to come on CTV News, it's Giving Tuesday, and one local organization is doing their part in giving back to others. Find out how after the break.
For the curiosity that compels us to look closer, dig deeper, reach further. For the passion to explore, to see, to know. That drives us to nurture connections, deepen empathy, and expand horizons. For the joy of discovery right now, and all the endless potential of what comes next. This is what we strive for.
Awesome.
Since 1888, the National Geographic Society has championed generations of explorers to ask questions, share stories, and open minds.
Wow.
And today, our mission is more urgent, dynamic, and vital than ever. Because in our hearts, we believe protecting the vibrancy of our world isn't just possible, it's essential. And we believe there's always another wonder for us to go and find. Will you join us? National Geographic Society. Wonder awaits.
Welcome back. After the University of Maryland Student Government Association failed to vote on a resolution that would have the group lobby the university to divest from certain companies, more than 650 students have signed a petition asking to take that vote campus-wide. UMD's Students for Justice in Palestine started the petition earlier in November. It would allow the entire student body to vote on whether student government should lobby UMD to revoke its investments from companies that may be implicated in human rights violations in places including Palestine, Guatemala, and Myanmar. The SGA still has to confirm the petition before the resolution can be included on the 2025 student ballot. And mark your calendars, big changes are coming to the academic calendar at the University of Maryland. Starting next academic year, the university will give students an annual 2-day fall break in October. It will take place on the second Monday and Tuesday of the month. No classes will be held over that break. This comes after years of advocacy for a new break from students and community groups aimed at promoting well-being and balance. University President Daryl Pine says the extra time off will help the campus community recharge. And food pantries are at high demand this time of year, but thanks to some local nonprofits, county residents suffering from food insecurity now have some added options. CTV's Bryce Parker has more.
Together, we can ensure that our town continues to be a place where everyone has access to essentials they need to thrive.
Today, 2 mini food pantries opened up in Prince George's County, one in Laurel and one in Bladensburg, with the hopes of alleviating some of the county's food insecurity issues.
This new mini food pantry represents a significant step forward in our efforts to ensure that every member of our community has access to essential resources they need.
In partnership with nonprofit Prince George's and Johns Hopkins Health Plan, the vision for a community cupboard in Bladensburg is now open in David C. Harrington Community Park.
We are beyond elated. There was a lot of work done into selecting the sites for these community cupboards, and actually the city of Bladensburg holds a zip code with the highest number of people living with food insecurity.
And the conversations for expanding the Priority Partners cupboards across the county have already begun.
Our conversations with Priority Partners and with Johns Hopkins Health Plan is to look into next year, identifying another 2 to 3 locations that we can install additional pantries in. Food insecurity exists throughout the county, and it's difficult for people in the southern portion of the county to get to central or the northern portion. So we really are looking at how do we create opportunity where people throughout the county can have access.
But for now, the Laurel and Bladensburg cupboards will give county residents some much needed relief when it's convenient for them.
And it allows people to do it at the time that works for them, that works for their families. Some people, there's an issue with coming out. Some people don't feel comfortable going out to ask for help. This allows them to be able to maintain their dignity and come when it works for them.
With the community cupboard finally open, Priority Partners can now provide the community with their saying, take what you need, leave what you can. In Bladensburg, I'm Bryce Parker, CTV News.
Thank you, Bryce. Priority Partners also operates across the state of Maryland, providing mini pantries for those in need. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture issues a new alert on illegal meat from Ecuador. The public health alert comes from the department's Food Safety and Inspection Service. The alert is for frozen, ready-to-eat pork mortadella products that have been illegally imported from Ecuador. Officials say some of the products were shipped to retail and distributed to 7 states, including Maryland. Ecuador is not permitted to export meat and poultry products to the U.S. An online retailer, Amazon, made history yesterday with its record-breaking Black Friday week and Cyber Monday event. The company says customers saved billions of dollars shopping during Amazon's 12 days of deals. The Echo Dot and the Fire TV Stick 4K were 2 of the event's best-selling products. In the U.S., some of the best-selling product categories included electronics, toys, and beauty. A new study found that Amazon had the lowest online prices entering the holiday season for the 8th year in a row. And Giving Tuesday is a global day dedicated to generosity and giving back to causes that enrich our communities. As a nonprofit television studio, CTV plays a vital role in fostering growth, creativity, and opportunity. CTV offers internships, training classes, and outreach programs that prepare the next generation of media professionals and amplify local voices.
It's more than just a television station, it's a community, you know, and with interns like myself coming through, I learned a lot and I was able to do a lot, you know, but we wouldn't be able to do that without, you know, people giving back.
I've seen everyone that works here, they have passion. They want you to succeed. They give you the tips, they give you the tricks. So I think they encourage the youth and they give opportunities that others can't have.
Why give to CTV? I think that if you're looking to give back to a nonprofit organization that gives back to the community, it would be a great partnership. This facility is for the people and by the people.
You can make a difference today by scanning the QR code on your screen to donate or by supporting our Christmas toy drive that runs until December 16th to brighten the holidays for children in need. That drop-off location is here at the CTV office. And now Simon Buggs is here with our Tuesday sports page.
That's right, Michaela. We have some exciting gridiron news in store for today. Hey, sports fans, don't go anywhere because coming up on your Tuesday sports page, Ravens head coach John Harbaugh touches on finishing the season out strong, and a Terp football player makes a big announcement. What did he have to say? You'll find out after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
Mom, why is there stuff out here? Let's go.
I just need a minute, okay? I know, I'm sorry.
Hey, can't stay here.
Okay.
All right, sports fans, it's finally time for your Tuesday sports page. Let's go. The Baltimore Ravens are gearing up for the second part of the season as the team is in the midst of their bye week. Baltimore is currently in second place in the AFC North at 8-5, and it looks like the team is going to make another postseason appearance. The Ravens have to maintain focus for these next 4 games to make sure they are the best version of themselves come playoff time. And head coach John Harbaugh touched on how important this last stretch of the season is.
Bill Parcells had a great quote. He said, "The season starts after Thanksgiving." Wow, what a truth for the teams that are still in it, and we're one of those teams. So we have an opportunity now. The season starts now. I think I'm proud of our guys. I feel like they've fought through a lot of things this year. It's been 13 straight weeks. We've had a lot of tough games, had a lot of travel. We've gone against teams kind of in situations where they were, they were hot. They were at their best. They were in good. They were playing good football. They were healthy, and it's a challenge. And I think our guys handled all those challenges really well. So that forges you for what's ahead.
Baltimore's next opponent after their bye week will be the New York Jets on December 15th. Meanwhile, it's the end of an era for one Maryland football player as Terps wide receiver Ty Felton has announced that he will declare for the 2025 NFL Draft. Felton broke out this season as he recorded 96 catches for 1,124 yards and 9 touchdowns. The Virginia native also set the program's single-season record for receptions as well. He also finished second in single-season receiving yards and touchdowns in the program's history. In his 4 years in College Park, Felton finished with 2,207 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns. Good luck at the next level, Ty. Another Terp football player also made headlines as safety Dante Trader Jr. had accepted his invitation to suit up in the Research Senior Bowl. This season for the team, Trader recorded 59 total tackles, a pick, and 4 pass deflections. The Research Senior Bowl will be on February 1st of next year. In other Terp sports news, the women's basketball team will try and get their 9th win in a row tonight. The Lady Terps will take the court against Mount St. Mary's at 7 o'clock. And don't worry, College Hoops fans, I'll have highlights for you tomorrow. The Washington Capitol fans will also be in action tonight. The Caps will be aiming to get their 18th win of the season against the San Jose Sharks. The two teams will take the ice at 7 o'clock as well.
All right, thank you, Simon.
No problem.
I think a lot of people would like to see the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl
Absolutely.
this year. What do they need to improve on to take it there?
Well, Mariah, I would like this team to be more consistent, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because this team is very high powered. They can put up 30, 40 points. But against some of these big dogs in the NFL, like the Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Steelers, they kind of score in the teams. The offense isn't as good. And I feel like come playoff time, you have to put up points in order to beat these high caliber teams, as the Pittsburgh Steelers is a team they could see on their way to the postseason and see during the postseason. And the Eagles, if they make it far enough, could face them in the Super Bowl. And also Justin Tucker, their kicker, he has to get out of his funk because he's struggling right now. I think he missed 3 kicks in the Eagles game. He has to really lock in because a lot of these games can come down to a final kick. So they can do those 2 things. I think they got a shot at getting it to the big game in February. So we'll see.
Thank you, Simon.
No problem.
Now let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be clear and we'll hit a low of 24. Tomorrow we have a high of 43 with a chance of snow tomorrow night. Thursday we have a chance of snow showers before 1 p.m. It'll be around 40 degrees. Friday will be sunny with a high of 38 and low of 23. And for our community calendar, this Friday, the Hilltop Plaza is hosting the Soulful Santa Experience. Enjoy a live DJ, festive goodies, and meet the most soulful Santa in Prince George's County. Take home a special family photo with Santa to capture the magic of the holiday season. This free event is open to all ages and takes place from 5 to 7 p.m. For more information, contact 571-382-1200. And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
You've worked hard. You've earned a life that you can call your own. Retirement worries shouldn't get in the way. But many Americans like you are finding that retiring on a fixed income is harder than they expected. Fortunately, there are benefits programs that can help. Visit benefitscheckup.org to see if you're among the millions of people eligible for thousands of dollars in benefits to help you age well, so you can focus on what's really important. Benefits Checkup. You've earned this.